A crew of workers in Marquette saved a woman's life before a real tragedy could have taken over. Meet our next hometown heroes. This is what a normal day on the job looks like for Todd Barr, Chad Devonshire, and Ross Christensen of Prime Specialty Contracting in Marquette. May 18th started as an ordinary day for this crew until they noticed something on their way back to the shop.
Well, we're doing a job down at Beacon House, and we were done early that day, so we decided to go back to the shop and unload and this and that. And my partner, he went one way, I went the other. Coming around by Mart Holler, I could see the smoke rolling. I was like, what the heck?
We were coming down Washington, and we were in front of Air Gas, and we could see smoke. And Ross and I just joked that our shop's on fire. So we just drove towards it, being nosy. And when we rolled up, turned the corner on Baraga, there was a truck in the back that was engulfed in flames.
So we pulled up. Todd was in front of us. He was already on site ahead of us, and everybody else was keeping on driving by. So we looked around. It was an older couple that was in the truck, and the older guy got out of the car, and he was kind of looking around at the fire.
But there was still someone in the truck.
So I went over there and I turned, and she was kind of facing me in the seat, and I looked down and I noticed that she was not physically able to get out of the truck. So I said, well, okay, well, this is, got real right at that moment. And I kind of got my hands underneath her arms and she kind of went down, so we kind of had to turn her around. I got her away from the truck, and then Todd came over and gave me a hand, and we brought her over to the corner of the parking lot then.
And by that time, it was time to move. It got hot, and I think it was about 30 seconds and the whole truck was up. So it surprised me on how fast it went up.
Had it not been for their quick reaction, the truck would have blown up with the woman still inside.
And all of a sudden then the gas tank went and exploded, and it'd have been a dire situation if we weren't there.
And because of that, these men were recently awarded with the Life-Saving Award from the city.
Chief Grimmett called Chad the next day. I had gone down in the morning to talk to the officer that was on site to fill out some kind of fill-in-the-blank kind of things for the police report. And he had said, you guys really saved that lady's life. And I'm like, well, whatever, we just did what we did, And then Chief Grimmett called us later on in the day saying they were going to recognize us at the June 13th Marquette City Commission meeting. And we're like, okay, it's a little kind of, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's kind of like, you didn't think about it. We're not, trying to get a lot of attention. We just did what we did,
But it's an act that made a difference.
Well, it's not really a hero. I wouldn't call it a hero. It's just something you did that you're kind of, expected to do, or you should do, You think about if that was my mom or somebody's mom, you want them out of their vehicle.
It feels good. I'm just glad we were there and help. And like I said, I hope if it ever came about, somebody would help me or my family.
We're glad we got there when we did, And, you have to do something. That's the way we looked at it. We just, we didn't think about it at that time. But after looking back later in the day, it's like, I'm glad we were there and we saved somebody's life. And you didn't think about it. It wasn't about, trying to get recognized about anything like that. It was just doing something to help somebody out that was in need, basically.